Good morning and welcome to That's Debatable with Ben and Emily. The big topic today, the United States is now involved in a military conflict with Iran. So the question we want to start with this morning is simple. Should we be? Should the U.S. be involved in this war, or is this another conflict America should stay out of? Here to discuss this and many other topics that we have scheduled for today, my co-host, North of 8 design and marketing founder, Emily Gall. Emily, good morning.
Good morning, Ben. How are you?
Fantastic.
Yeah, living the dream.
I love doing these shows. No, I am, and I hate when people say, living the dream. They never actually, I feel like they don't mean it. It's kind of a living the dream.
No, wink, wink.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I can't pay my bills. All that stuff.
You could pay your bills if you wanted to. Just get another job.
Yes.
Lazy.
Or the old trope, stop buying $9 coffees.
Well, there is that. It's interesting what we find money to pay for.
I would agree.
Just saying. Obviously, so we have several things. We had some reader/viewer questions on when we put up the post yesterday. One from Matt Rowe, several which were pretty good from Sarah. I believe it's Showalter. We'll get to that. Actually, even before we get into the U.S. involvement in the conflict with Iran, you had an article published on DrydenWire.com yesterday. And shoot, you know what? I don't even have the headline of what that was.
I'm doing it, Ben. I am making my job fun again. So North of 8, my business, about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, Cassie and I, who is my work wife, we decided we're just finally going to pull the trigger on this marketing conference that we've had in the back of our brains for the last 4 or 5 years. And so we're doing it. So we've got a bunch of great sponsors already. We've got a bunch of people.
What is it? It's a summit of something, or
we couldn't come up with a good. You can't call it a conference because there's no breakout sessions. So it's everybody sitting in a room for 4 hours listening to certain presentations. We've got presenters on SEO. It's for your business. It's a business marketing summit. So small businesses, entrepreneurs, small, marketing departments, everybody is welcome to come. It's very affordable. Sessions will be on local SEO, social media, like how to use social for your business, public relations, which that presentation I'm very excited about. It's coming from Maggie Olson, who's the communications director at the St. Croix Chippewa Indians of Wisconsin. And it's titled, Don't Be an A-hole in a Small Town. So it's going to be really good. I am overwhelmed with the response. We've got sponsors like Northwest Regional Planning Commission, the Burnett County Development Association, my personal favorite, the Web Lake Men's Club. So
why is that your personal favorite?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I didn't know we were going to do a Web Lake Men's Club commercial, but I'm on it. They are this group of gentlemen up in the woods over here in Danbury, Web Lake, and they meet at a bar once a month, and people show up and they basically just are this charitable organization where there's no hoops to jump through. It's just a bunch of dudes drinking Busch Light. Somebody's like, oh, the ambulance needs $15,000 for upgraded equipment. And they're all like, oh, I'll donate. There's no red tape. It's just a bunch of dudes giving away money and resources to their community. It is incredible.
All right. What is it called again? Northwoods
Marketing Summit. April 16th. Yep, that's right. Half a day in the afternoon. There's going to be a happy hour. We're going to give away a $5,000 website. We had a sponsor donate a 3-night vacation, all inclusive, or not all, but flight and hotel.
Sure.
Yeah, it's really, it's fun.
So I literally haven't read it yet. So my assistant editor posted that yesterday. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. Yeah. So I think we're going to. But on there is a link to go, and you have to RSVP, right? You have to sign up for it.
Yep. You gotta register.
All right. I'll go look at it.
Yeah.
All right. You want to get to it?
I guess. I think that we should just preface this whole conversation with, we are not experts.
No. On this topic.
Yeah, on most topics.
Yeah, well, that's true. So our topic is do you support The United States being militarily involved in this conflict with Iran right now. Why or why not? By the way, I say conflict, even though everyone says a war. I don't know what to say. Technically, we haven't been in a war since World War II, I think. But I remember it was one of my greatest honors. About a few years ago, we had Lieutenant Colonel Alan West on for a show. And I remember asking him, I'm like, so when you were in that war or conflict, wait, like you're the military, I mean, you're Lieutenant Colonel. I don't want to like offend or trigger anything here. He said, listen, Ben, if they're shooting at you, it's a war. So fair enough. But that is the question. Our first topic today is we are involved in this conflict with Iran right now. Do you support this? Yes, no, why, or why not?
With my very limited knowledge on this topic, I say no. I think I go back to when Trump was elected the second time. And there was lots of feelings about that. But one thing I really clung to was he had promised no more foreign wars. And after watching like a lot of what has been going on in the Middle East, after like growing up in the 9/11 era and the weapons of mass destruction sort of thing, and then like, looking back, seeing it a little bit differently, kind of recognizing the propaganda that was fed to us. Like I come to this with a lot of baggage from the Iraq war for sure, and from 9/11. But yeah, I don't see the value. I struggle to find the reason. It seems like they're workshopping a lot of different reasons, or I'd say excuses for this right now. Like President Trump will say something different than Marco Rubio, and it's just so hard. It's so hard to track. And that scares me.
You had mentioned that one of the at the very beginning of what you were saying was that Trump had said no new wars, no new right. So is that playing a role or a factor in do you support this or not? Is because Trump is the president? If this was President Biden, or let's say President Trump, when he was running, didn't even mention this, didn't say no new anything. Is that a contributing factor? It sounds like it is.
I think it has to be. I think we have to like recognize our biases, right? And would we think these same ways if an administration that I was more friendly toward was doing this? And I think the honest answer has to be yes. I think that on the other side, it's really important right now for people who, are in my comment section talking about, well, we needed to do this. This is part of a master plan, or he's doing exactly what he said. But if I go back in your Facebook posts a year ago, you were praising the president who said no more foreign wars. So I think we all have to like decide where we stand, and regardless of who is in power or who is giving us, I don't know. I just think we need to be people of principle versus people of party.
That's interesting, though. And next month we'll do it because we always do this the first Thursday of the month, and that'll be just a few days before the election. So we'll have a lot of it'll basically be a whole show about election stuff, and then diving into that. But I know one of the things we'll talk about next month probably is about why do people vote certain ways, and do you look at like the character of the person? It's going to be a really interesting show. I know you and I have already kind of workshopped that a little bit, but that's kind of the same thing here, isn't it? And I'm not saying it's wrong, but maybe it isn't right. I don't know. Is this because it's a President Trump or a Republican, or actually let's just say it's Trump, right? I mean, because he's like, it's not just Republican. He's Donald Trump Republican. Mm-hmm. Where you may be not supporting of a war simply because of the person, but not looking at it from, is this in the best interest of America?
Right.
I can't even get to that point because I can't believe Donald Trump is doing this.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know, Ben. What are you thinking? I've steamrolled already.
I don't. Well, in terms of the original question, do I support it or not? I like you. I don't know all the details. Obviously, I think most Americans don't really know all the details. I struggle with the why. I think you kind of touched on that because you do kind of get different answers. Well, we need regime change, and then Hexas says something different, and then it's okay. So it's the nuclear weapons, and it's I kind of feel like they should have probably figured out what their answer is going to be before this started. I mean,
They should come to my marketing summit so they know to get their messaging right
yeah,
before they
messaging. Yeah, they
start it.
should. There you go. April 14th. They should just go to DrydenWire.com and look that up and have some of their cabinet go there. I'm going to default to I support it, but not as a blindly 100% support it. And this has nothing to do with Donald Trump at all.
Okay.
I can't really even identify as to why. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things. Iran has just been Iran forever. I do find it interesting, though, that there's a lot of neighboring countries that some of them I wouldn't necessarily say have been our best friends that are also. I find it interesting how many people in that region don't like Iran in this regime
Sure.
or that regime. I didn't know that. I didn't realize. I'm like, oh boy, this is now they're going to get into it and they're going to like an Axis and allies thing. Wow, they don't really have a whole lot of allies. And I found that a little surprising. So by default, I'm going to support it.
What American interests are achieved through this through this military action?
What are interests? Good question. Well, what are some of the things they've been saying? Obviously, let's talk about it. It's the elephant in the room, oil.
Sure.
Because really, that Ayatollah person, he killed like 1,000 people or several thousand people like a month before all of this. So it's kind of like an American thing where we want to, hey, this is a terrible thing and it's humanity, but we only seem to really care about the humanity of other people in other countries when there's oil in their country, or it somehow serves our interest. But that isn't necessarily a bad thing. Maybe it's not a virtuous thing, but from an American standpoint I can understand that part. I don't like it and it's ugly, but I can kind of understand that a little bit. The nuclear weapons part, obviously, I mean, every president forever has been saying they cannot have a nuclear weapon.
Sure.
We all know this. And then it's like long-range missiles and all this other stuff. Again, I'm not really an expert at any of this, as we've already kind of prefaced, but
we had a show once where you asked me if the topic came up about nuclear weapons, and I was like, no, we don't want anybody else to have them, because if they do, like, we're the bad guy. Like, this is a real thing that I'm feeling. Like, let's say a military action on U.S. soil, and they hit an elementary school, and 180 students and teachers are killed. Who's the bad guy? It is so black and white, and so we're doing these things overseas. The greatest, most advanced military in the world, and we hit an elementary school.
Well, we don't. Okay, just to be clear, we don't know that for sure. I'm not like being I'm just saying that's only been that information was only released from the IRGC. Like no Western media outlet has actually confirmed that. As of like yesterday morning, nobody's actually confirmed. Again, I don't want to get into it. I know this show is called That's Debatable, but this isn't
that's yellable. That's what
there you go. And we'll just assume that it is true, but I just want to be clear. Like, as far as I know, like, America has not confirmed that has happened. Israel has not confirmed that has happened. They're looking into it. They're investigating it. So I just don't know. We can find out in 2 hours that they can confirm, yes, that did happen.
Sure.
But also, I'm pretty sure, right, they didn't mean to if that did happen.
No, I'm
so
hoping
that's
not.
interesting, and that's not good.
I'm hoping they didn't mean to, but we have a track record of being flippant with lives overseas.
Yeah, does it move the needle for you that if that is true, that it was kids?
Yes.
If it were 200 people that were adults but were also innocent, would that be as a big deal for you?
I think there is a particular cruelty with not being careful with the lives of children. Children have they don't get to make decisions for themselves. Their parents make the decisions for them. Where they live, where they go to school. If we're not careful with the lives of children, we will not be careful with anybody's lives.
Fair enough.
Dun, dun. So that's where I'm like, and there's like all sorts of like history when it comes to Iran. Like, you look back at I think they're actually pictures from Iraq, but like women in the 1970s in the Middle East, and they're like, they look like American women, like they're wearing American women clothes, and it's a very like liberal looking society, right? But if you actually go back and you look at the history of Iran, we have always been so involved in who is in power. In the 1950s, we had like CIA operations because Iran wanted to take back over the ownership of their, or like nationalize their oil and take it from this like British, well, today's BP, take the ownership back from them. And like our CIA went into Iran, or Iran, sorry, Iran, that's the Wisconsin way to say it, went into Iran and, and like really like made the decisions. We pulled the strings that created the society today that we have such a problem with. And I think that if we don't take ownership of our piece in it, I think it's just revisionist history. And I'm not for that.
Good morning, Nathan. And by the way, if anybody has a view, please put it in. Because again,
Yeah.
I'm not justifying this. I'm not. I guess I support it. Just again, kind of by default. And by default, I just mean that there must be a reason, and there's probably several reasons. I think the biggest concern, I think we all have, Republican, Democrat, whomever you are, because of what you had mentioned earlier, we have gone through this Iraq, Afghanistan war. This isn't like a Persian Gulf, or hopefully it will be kind of like one of those situations where some of our things we're in, we're out, a month, done, right? But I think that's the biggest concern, is if this is kind of quote unquote over in a month, okay, then we can have the kind of do Monday morning quarterbacking of was that good, was it bad? But our worry is that this is going to turn into another forever war where it's going to be boots on the ground and it's going to be 10, 20 years.
Yes, and this was the like I started this off with. This was what I clung to when I felt like everything was going to H double hockey sticks in a handbasket after the election. Was like, okay, well, number one, I'm in the tax bracket that hopefully should do a little bit better under his presidency, and number two, I also am over this like warmongering sort of like the first casualty. Matt's comment: the first casualty of war is the truth. That is very poignant. It makes me think of Orwell's 1984. But anyway, I just clung to it, and it was like one of the only like lifesavers that I had in all of this. And now we've got Venezuela. We have Greenland has sort of fizzled out, but like all of that aggression toward Greenland. We bombed Ecuador to support their military. We send.
I don't even know where Ecuador is on a map. I don't think I could find it.
Oh, really?
Where is
I
it?
couldn't find it specifically. I could tell you. I think it's in the tail of Mexico.
Oh.
Yeah, and like it just keeps going. It keeps coming, and it gets more and more convoluted. And it's not. They don't have clear messaging on it. In last June, I thought that we obliterated their nuclear capabilities. Right? I remember being terrified when that happened, when we bombed Iran. President Trump said they'll never have nuclear weapons again. Months later, now we have to bomb them again because of their potential nuclear capabilities. It's a weird thing when people aren't honest and upfront. And I get it, you're in government. There's things that the general public should not know, like federal big government. But it makes me incredibly distrustful. There was a reporter who talked to the president shortly after the Ayatollah was taken out, I guess. And he said, I got him before he got me. And that is the thing that tracks with me the most. Because there was when Biden was president, there was some threat to President Trump's life from Iran. And so like Iran, they upped his like Secret Service protections because of it. And so the only thing that makes sense to me is that little comment, I got him before he got me. That tracks with what I know about this administration.
Well, I think you're right. They need to work on messaging a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a little confusion. Brian says, spot on, Emily, nobody wants to acknowledge U.S. and U.K. role in creating the hate towards our country and installing the Shah, who brutalized the people and enriched himself until they rise up and drove him out. Do you think? I know it's being discussed right now. Do you think that Congress should have approved this first?
I've actually been spending some time in this,
Oh,
that
good.
war powers resolution.
Okay.
So apparently, no president takes that seriously because they feel like it infringes on their Article 2 powers of like being the commander in chief of the military. So
Hmm.
like even Obama was like, I'm just not even gonna deal with it.
Sure.
So I don't know. I think most of I think we have to accept this as this is the norm, is that our presidents seem to have more unfettered access to our military than maybe I feel comfortable with. But I think it's not specific to this administration
Yeah.
by any means.
Yeah, I think I'd probably agree on that one. Uh, First of all, getting Congress to agree on anything,
Right.
and how long would that take? Yeah, and as long as it's legal to do, which apparently it is, or they're going to be discussing that again. But this is not the first time we've gone through
Right.
this. I don't seem to have a problem with that. Again, they probably should look into that more. But yeah, that'd be fine. So, what concern to wrap this up? What concerns do you have the most about this? Hold on a second. Tomorrow says hard to trust Trump while what is shared to the public is never consistent. Exactly. I mean, seriously, just this is like 101 stuff. Just get it together. Okay, we're all on the same page, right? This is
Mhm.
why we're doing it, and this is what we say to media, and just I don't know. I
Like
feel
at
like
least
that's
make sure the propagandas. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, come on, folks. We've been doing
yeah,
this for a while. We know how to do it. Come on.
us centuries we've been doing this.
So, what concerns do you have the most about this conflict? Is it like escalation? Is it American troop casualties? Obviously, there could potentially be economic impacts. What is your biggest concern?
You go first.
Oh, I don't have one.
What?
Well,
You
no,
have
my
no.
biggest one is that this is going to lead to a boots on the ground and American
Okay.
casualties, and it's going to drag out. Honestly, that is my biggest concern, and
Okay.
everything else is like a distant number two.
Okay. I think my biggest concern is the whataboutism. I think this is the perfect litmus test to see how far people will mold their worldview or mold their principles into a worldview that is fed to them. So, like, I see this as a breakdown of American patriotism,
Mm.
honestly. I,
What?
I do. I do, because if you can't look at something objectively anymore and you filter everything through a partisan lens, there's nothing they can't convince you is good and righteous. So going back to like the people who a year ago totally loved him, voted for him because they were tired of these wars, and now they're justifying every single act of aggression. It that is what scares me the most because I think that's the slippery slope.
Hmm. I don't. I guess I'd have to ask people that have voted for Trump. Was that high on their radar? I know that's what he said, but I kind of feel like that's not why they voted for him. Was
Okay.
because of that issue.
Okay. I mean,
I don't know
I'm
though.
because it was important. It was the only thing, one of the only things that I was excited about.
All
So
right. We have Nathaniel says if we can have peace through this effort, it would be one of the greatest events in recent history. I mean, Iran has been Iran for a long time, and every president's trying to figure out what to do with it. Again, this could be great ish or good or positive, and it could maybe not.
I need a success story. Can somebody give me a success story?
About what?
I think that's what I'm missing. Is there a time when the United States government intervened in a foreign government, installed a new head of state or whatever, and it worked out?
Germany, World War II. That'd be a good
Yeah,
one.
there's that, but that wasn't just
Well, that's a
us.
big
That
one.
was yeah, yeah. But I'm talking like this, like specific sort of like U.S. against everyone else kind of thing.
Um, wasn't the Persian Gulf? What about Gaddafi?
Okay,
Um,
honestly, give me a list because I need something to
I'd have to look it up. I
hope
don't have
for.
anything off the top of my head. I mean,
I need something to hope for. I need to read and spend time with things that are like, hey, here's something that we did that looks and sounds a lot like what we're doing right now, and it worked out for the best. Because in my lifetime, like my conscious, aware of
Japan,
whatever, I don't have it.
Japan.
Japan. Japan.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we'll probably find a whole bunch of them, to be honest. Yeah, Stacey
Oh,
Gulf
that's
War. That's what I was thinking of.
I
Uh,
am not I'm speaking specifically like my lived life experience.
oh, then you should have that. You should know if it's based on your lifetime.
How old do you think I am?
I don't know.
I'm not
I'm
even
not
gonna
answering
tell.
that question. I'm not supposed to answer that question ever.
You're
No.
always supposed to say 25, no matter what.
25.
Also, if
Okay.
you're a bartender, always card. Always card. I got carded recently and I've never been so flattered. And I knew he just wanted a good tip. And I gave it to him.
All right. Well, we clearly are don't know what we're talking about when it comes to this topic. We
100%.
we took a stab at it, just because it's a very topical thing. But yeah, hopefully we get more information. And this is yeah. Dan Erickson says Ben is right. What? Dan Erickson has never said that in his life.
You are welcome. You are
No,
welcome.
I'm just saying there are some. We don't know if this is going to be one. I'd assume that it's going to be, but we just don't really know.
I am
Hopefully this
writing these
gets over
down.
quickly.
This will help my mental health, honestly. Spending time learning about these.
Yeah. There's no stabilizing the Middle East because the animosity all lies in religion. And there's another aspect, and I won't get into it, but I mean, this is all, read the Bible, folks. This is all prophesized, and we know how it's going to end. That's the wonderful thing about the Bible.
I'm
You
gonna let
actually
you have
know the
that.
ending.
I'm gonna
So,
let you have that, sir.
okay, let's move on. We have other things to get to, and I saw actually a question or a comment from Matt Rowe earlier, and we had put up our show announcement yesterday, and we asked if anyone had any ideas for some topics. So we had a few people. Matt had a topic in there. Do you? How do we want to approach this? Do we want to turn this into like a sign or veto or anything, or just talk about what the topic was?
Let's just talk about it.
Okay.
All right. So Governor Evers is calling a special legislative session to get the legislature to get a constitutional amendment on the ballot for voters that would ban partisan gerrymandering moving forward.
Okay.
And how do you think that's going to play out?
So he's calling. So this is about the fair map thing, gerrymandering stuff.
Yep. Yep.
And so first of all maps almost pretty much by default gerrymandered. No matter which way you take it, it's going to be gerrymandered. How it's currently set. Now, there's more extreme versions of that, certainly. And on that topic, actually, so when Republicans gerrymandered the maps a few years ago, which that's the constitutional. That's how the process goes. The elected legislators are the ones that get to decide, and the ones that are in control get to basically make those decisions. But then when that got when it went back, and then there's that whole thing, and then the Supreme Court was getting involved. Basically, then there were two different versions of the maps. Governor Evers' map, I think you call it like the People's map or something. Then there's another map. So actually, the one that he actually wanted was also wildly gerrymandered. And then that didn't get done. And then it goes to the Supreme Court, and then they decide, okay, we're going to go with this middle map, which everybody had signed off on before. So they are like quote unquote fair. I mean, you're never going to be like fully fair, but okay. But what he is suggesting is let's have a special session, bring the legislature in, and let's talk about this. Let's fix this, and let's make this so figure it out. But we can't
Yep.
have legislators doing this anymore. First of all, I don't think this is going to be. I don't know how many people are going to show up to that April 14th thing. It's going to probably be a gavel in and gavel out type thing. That's just
Which
my
is
assumption because I don't
frustrating.
see this happening this year. I really don't.
Are
And
they are the Republicans nervous they might lose significant ground in the next election? Or are they pretty confident they're going to hang on to the state houses?
well, I think they probably. Well, I'm not going to speak for them. I believe that the assembly will likely stay Republican. The Senate, that's kind of a coin toss, and we just obviously the governor. We don't know about that one either. Um, yeah, so that'll be interesting to see. But okay, so let's move past the. He wants this to be a constitutional amendment, so we can just have something else. If the goal is to not have it partisan, I don't see how you do that. So if you have 6 or 12 people on this commission, this panel or committee, whatever you want to call it, that are going to draw the maps in a nonpartisan way. First of all, there's not many people that are nonpartisan, just like in life. But
Sure.
more importantly, who's appointing them? Who's selecting them?
Ooh, that's a good
Is
point.
this going to be like voir dire in a criminal trial where uh, you bring in 30 people for the time they have to be on the jury, and you only need 12, and then like each side gets, I don't know, like 6 people they can say no, like veto, like I don't want that person on. Is that what it is? Because that's what's going to turn into the partisan part, is who is appointing them and
Yeah, it
who are
sounds
these
like
people from, and it's going to turn like the Supreme Court. It's not supposed to be
yeah,
partisan, but it is. Come on. Or it just is.
that was
So
gonna be
that's,
my
I don't think they're trying to solve a problem, but it's going to create another problem, which is the same problem. It's just a different problem, but it's still the same thing. It's still going to be a partisan thing, in my opinion. I've never heard an actual, here's exactly how you do it. That makes sense because who's
I
appointing them?
I have a question.
Hmm.
And this I am gonna sound so naive. We already have maps and we already have boundaries, right?
Hmm.
So like can we do it where
Excuse me.
instead of an amount of constituents that you need to represent, it's
Hmm.
actually like you represent this one county that already has its boundaries where you represent, you know what I mean? Like we can make anything up. We could change, like could we change things so that we have to abide by the maps and the boundaries that are already in place versus these arbitrary, like I'll take this township and then I'll take this township. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Well, as of right now, again, both sides sign off on this. Supreme Court signed off on this. Evers signed off on this. Republicans signed off on it. Why are we trying to change any of that? I guess honestly, the biggest thing is how about you put up a really good candidate in a lot of these races? And if you look at the, I think one of the part of that question that Matt Road originally asked something about the northern counties. This has actually made it where, listen, no Republican is going to, or it's very unlikely a Republican is going to win the 73rd district. That's a Democrat district now. Angela Stroud, she's got that job as long as she wants it. It's the
Yeah.
75th with Duke Tucker. I mean, that's a Republican district. 74th, Chance Green right now. The 25th is still very red. We want to get in the 7th congressional because that's a different map stuff.
Yeah.
But around here, I mean, the Republicans are going to probably hold all those. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't actually win and have an upset. We've talked about this before. But look at some of the candidates that they're putting up on both sides. Really? I mean, put up a great candidate and then put money behind them. But that comes down to the money part, because that's the answer to every question is money.
Yes.
They don't want, like, this is not a winnable race, so we're not going to put a lot of money into this race. So they're almost
Yeah.
like sacrificial lambs
100%.
because
We
they
have
have to, like, even right now with the Senate, the Republican Senate, they've identified 2, maybe probably 3 Senate races. That's what they're going to put all their money into. And the other ones, a few bucks here or there, but nothing. They're going to put it all into these very, very contested races.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you make a lot of really good points. I think the cause is noble. But just like you did, when you start to think about the nuts and bolts of it, who's making these appointments? Is it like jury selection? Like, do you need to
Right.
like figure out if you like look back through people's Facebook posts to make sure that they are nonpartisan? To be nonpartisan, does that mean that you have to be completely unplugged these days? And if you're completely unplugged, do you even have the right,
Yeah.
toolkit?
You know what? Let AI do it. There you go.
Oh, oh God. Okay. I'm having a real problem with AI these days.
Okay.
I'm saving that for my unpopular opinion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on.
All right.
So Sarah had put these questions. She had some questions she put in the comment yesterday. I'll read the first one here. She says, is staying silent on social media about big issues a form of privileged ignorance or turning a blind eye? Or can it simply be someone choosing not to add to the noise / setting a healthy boundary? So the first part, staying silent on social media about big issues, is that a form of privileged ignorance or turning a blind eye?
I vote number one. I think it is a privilege to be able to live your life separate from some of these big things that are happening that affect certain subsects of of the population, and it doesn't affect you, so you are able to just scroll right on by. I think it is a privilege.
Okay. That's willful ignorance, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, but then we also have to understand she had another question too, which is a genius. If you don't know Sarah, you are
I
missing
don't.
out. Um, but our algorithms. So
Oh
like
yeah.
even
Hold on.
our
Well, let's get to that one. Where is that one? Oh yeah. If everyone's social media feed is personalized by algorithms, are we all living in different versions of reality?
yes,
There you go.
yes.
Yes, Sarah.
So it is so hard to judge people based on their silence on one issue. Well, it's actually very easy to, but then to be reasonable and think it through. I spent years, scrolling and seeing terrible atrocities in Palestine. And then those sweet baby girls died in a Texas flood at a Bible camp, and people who have been silent on the children in Palestine suddenly were overwhelmed with grief for these children in Texas.
Mm.
And my gut reaction as a terrible human being was like, well, you don't care about all kids. That's not what it is. It's our algorithms. It's the things that we can more easily connect to. It doesn't mean people are bad people. I think social media is a terrible, terrible thing.
I also think yes, but I think it's not what they're showing you; it's what you want to see. This is what
Sure.
you're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
if you keep scrolling through and clicking on the same types of things, that's what it's going to keep showing you, and that's a good business model. It's a good algorithm. They're going to keep showing you things that you like, so you keep going back to it.
Yeah.
If you want to see other things, yeah, maybe don't rely on algorithms for that so much.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time over the last like 8 years. If I'd see some like title or some like news article headline that was really something that sucked me in, then I would like hop over to Fox News and I would try to see like the other side of it. I spent a good amount of time trying to have a balanced algorithm, but it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard. I know there are people who have they call them, this is terrible. They call them mega accounts where they just have like a secondary like TikTok account, and so they can log into that, and that algorithm they have trained to just show them things from the opposite side.
It reminds me of is like every once in a while I'll create a new profile on like Apple Plus or Netflix or Amazon Prime. I'll create just a new profile,
Hmm.
and then it shows all the what after like what we suggest because and then I'm like, hey, why didn't you suggest that to me before? Like I didn't
Yeah.
get to see that before. So I know it's not a great analogy, but
No, it's the
it's
same.
interesting how it goes. Mark says yes, social media really does nothing to fairly distribute information. I call it social media education. I call it a profitable private business model, or not a
Yeah.
private business. They're a publicly traded business now, but still, no, I agree. But I don't rely on that stuff for those things, to be honest. Like everything I see in my news feed is all the stuff I actually want to see as well. But these are things like sports stuff, my kids stuff, um, comedy things, things about faith, because I always look at that stuff. Like that's what mine is filled with.
I know.
Interesting.
And
Like you know
my
what? Now I think about it, I don't really see any news in my news feed.
Ben, I think you might
That's
be in the
weird.
wrong business if you don't enjoy news.
I have told you before, I have no business running this business, like
Oh
at
my gosh,
all,
that should be
at
everything.
all. I don't care about any of that stuff. All right, we'll get to. She had two more in here. Is distancing yourself from someone because of their beliefs cancel culture, or is it just setting personal boundaries?
Mm, I think it can be both.
Okay.
I think it can be both. I think I might have talked about this before, but like I have somebody in my comments on Facebook who called me a liar, and then I said, "Okay, let's meet for a coffee." Because if you're going to be mean to me, you're going to be mean to my face. Like I'm, the internet's not real. And so I meet this person for coffee, and we sit there for an hour, and we have 90% of things in common, and we hug goodbye, and it just I think when we're so quick to say like, oh, this person is on the other side, then we lose that 90% that we have in common. So that feels more like cancel culture. But I think when you have a deep relationship with somebody and you just cannot get on the same page about something, it's okay to say like, we're just not going to talk about these things
Mm.
or draw that boundary.
Well, speaking of when you met that person, I think I've referenced this before. Like Bill Maher always says, everyone's a monster until you meet them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which is true. But yeah, so if the first part of that is distancing yourself from someone because of their beliefs, cancel culture. I look at it factually, or as a matter of fact, I don't think that's cancel culture at all. Distancing yourself from somebody, like if I'm a person of faith, and you and I are very good friends. If you don't agree with my beliefs, which you don't, cancel culture would be then if you went and called all my advertisers and told them, oh, they need to stop advertising with us because, the person who founded that business is actually, like, you're trying to cancel my business and everything about who I am.
Yeah.
That's cancel culture. You're taking it, not only do I disagree with you, I'm going to make sure everybody knows, and I'm going to try to ruin you or your business or anything that is about you.
Yeah, so it's tied to some sort of like economic.
Yeah, 100% right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's your lens. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's kind of how I feel about it. And the personal boundaries, yeah, that's fine. I always like strong opinions, especially when they don't align with mine. But that's not for everybody.
I think it's so fun.
I kind of
I
do.
think that's the best. I think that you should be willing to be questioned and consider new things, because it's either going to change your perspective and make you a more well-rounded person, or you're going to be that much more firm in your convictions. And like, I hope that you talk to me about your faith and you hang up and you're like, oh, I'm really glad that I've got this. I'm stronger in it because of these conversations. Like, my goal is never to change that part of you. I hope you know that.
Oh, my goal is to 100% change you. I'm going to convince you. Oh, 100%. If I didn't care about you, I wouldn't try to save your soul. Like, if I don't try to save your soul, that means I don't really care about you at all.
I have conversations with people, and I'm like, I must be the worst friendship that you ever have, because you want something from me so desperately that it like hurts you to be my friend. So thank you.
You're welcome. All right, and the last one she had was, is it rude to eat the last piece of food at a gathering, or is it rude to leave it sitting there awkwardly?
Food's food, man. I'm always the first one at a buffet line.
Okay, so it's not. So your answer is it's not rude to eat it.
No, just eat it. If you're hungry, eat it.
So I don't know if it's like rude or not. I don't know if I'd qualify it that way, but I wouldn't. I think the host has. I think they have dibs. And plus, you don't want to be the one that eats. I mean, if it's a piece of cake or something, just stop at McDonald's and get like a shamrock shake or whatever those things are called, like your sweet tooth.
Yeah.
I don't think it's rude, but I don't know. I wouldn't advise it. I don't think I would take the last piece if I've already had a piece of whatever it is, and there's one left and there's a group setting. I don't think I would. But I don't know if it's rude if you do. I just don't think I would do it.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
We diverge. Awesome. Ben, do you have any unpopular opinions?
I do have one, and we've talked about this before. It's about the minimum wage, and I'm only bringing it up because now this is, once again, a topical thing. Wisconsin Democrats, including your best friend, Franny Hung, I believe, is a part of this.
She has no idea who I am. She's going to think I'm crazy.
I think she does know who you are because she's also a part of this, and she must have listened to our show and sided with you. Wisconsin Democrats have introduced legislation to raise the state's minimum wage from the current $7.25 to $15 an hour immediately, with a further increase to $20 an hour by 2030. The goal behind this is they want to get it to the livable wage. Livable wage right now, I believe, is like just over $20 an hour. My unpopular opinion is that's stupid. I mean, just the whole raising the minimum wage to that level is stupid. But that's not even the part that's the dumbest, is that we're trying to obtain the livable wage. So that's not going to work. It's like a Greyhound racetrack where they're all running around chasing that little mechanical rabbit.
Sure.
Because as soon as we raise it to the livable wage, it's going to increase the livable wage.
Corporate profit.
So then we have to raise the minimum wage again just to meet the new livable. It'll be a constantly chasing the rabbit, and it'll be terrible. That's my unpopular opinion.
This is unpopular to me because corporate profits are at record highs. The wealth gap is there is money. There is money there. So that's
so there is, but that's a different thing. And by the way, it's only like 1% of our population, of our workforce, I should say, is at the 725. And by the way, that the The report that came out about that, it said there's only 30 to 35,000 Wisconsinites that are making $7.25 an hour or less, which is weird. Why did you say or less? Because if you're including the people that are making like servers, or whatever they're called now, people that work for tips.
Yep.
That's a different wage, so that's interesting. And the people you're trying to help, it actually is going to hurt not only them but everybody else. Unemployment's going to go through the roof. I mean, I could go on and on. We've already talked about this in the past, and the average wage actually right now in Wisconsin is like $14 an hour. Like these, like regional things that are set. No, I mean, I don't know one adult, and I know you don't either, that makes $7.25 an hour that isn't a felon or just chooses to not go to work somewhere else for better pay.
Untipped workers? Yes. No, okay. I don't know anybody. I don't know if people that work on it. Sorry.
What? It's ridiculous. What's yours?
You know what? I love this for you. I'm gonna let you sit in that. Mine is, I have two. Number one is this is gonna be kind of jargony, but I'm so tired of unfunded mandates. So really quick, high level, cliff notes. The state tells counties that they need to provide certain services. And then the county has to provide those services and then gets reimbursed at like a 70% rate for providing those services. We don't get reimbursed everything. Every dollar for dollar, we don't get reimbursed. And we don't have any money. There's no money. The state is telling us how to spend our time and our money. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to sound like a Republican.
I was going to say, this is not very left of you. Like, where are you going with this? Smaller local government? What?
People who know how to support people in their communities are the ones that live and work here. And I'm tired of the big state government telling us we need to do these certain things with this pot of money and then you need to spend your own money on these things. Like our community, which I'm learning, Burnett County's community is so much different than Washburn County's community. Like just the makeup of our people, all sorts of like demographic. Your
tax base, you betcha.
Yes, it is so different, but we have to provide the same types of services on behalf of the state. It is peeving me off. So now I'm not going to be a Republican, but that's a hill I'm going to die on.
I wouldn't advise anyone to be a Republican or a Democrat, but yeah, you just look at each situation. That's it, and come to a conclusion. I'm happy for you that you've come to this as a committee of one. You've came to the unanimous conclusion that maybe we know how to spend our money better.
Yeah, 100%. It took me a while.
Give us the money. We'll figure it out. Like, why are you telling me where to spend it?
And stop telling people where to use the bathroom. Like, that's big government. Like, we can deal with that at a small.
We'll figure it out. Right.
Yeah.
Leave us alone.
We be good people.
100%.
And then I do have a second one, and this is my favorite one. It's taken me also years to come to this conclusion, but smoked fish is better than pickled herring.
I don't think I've ever had either.
What?
I'm sure maybe I have. Like my family's on my mom's side is all Swedish, so when we were younger, we used to have Swedish stuff, and that sounds like something we probably would have had out, but I don't know if I've ever actually eaten it because I looked and smelled it, and I'm like, that smells terrible.
Yeah, it does, but it's delicious.
So which one's better than the other one?
Smoked fish.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's not as slimy, which makes it harder to eat and chew, but I'm into it. Yeah. They make this thing at Eller's store, or not Eller's, at the Johnson store in Port Wing. Shout out to my favorite store. They've got a whole case of smoked fish, and there's something called salmon candy. Literally, it's called salmon candy. It's the best thing in the whole wide world.
Salmon's good. I do like salmon.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I know what to get
sardines.
you.
Sardines, fantastic. I have like a can of sardines, like 3 of those a week. I love sardines.
Really?
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, thanks so much. What do you have going on this month?
I am just going to I'm all in on this conference. It is bringing me so much joy. It's going to be incredible. Like, I don't remember the last time I've been this giddy about something at work. So.
Well, it's something to, I wouldn't say distract, but it's something to kind of, it's like a hobby, something you can really get into that outside of work, I can really focus a lot of time. I totally get it now, like when I get older, why people like collect stamps. It's got nothing to do with stamps.
No.
And I'm starting to get it because I realize like I don't have a hobby. I just
Oh yeah,
want
'cause
to
entrepreneur,
something.
you just worked all your whole life until this point where maybe you don't have to work every second of every day, and now it's like,
And
oh,
now
what
I
do I
know it.
have?
And now I'm like, well, now what do I do?
Yes, 100%.
Maybe I'll
Okay.
collect stamps.
Yeah, what do you got going on? Anything
No,
fun?
work, finding a hobby. I can't wait for next month's show. We'll be doing. It'll be the whole thing is going to be about the election. I can't wait. It's going to be a great show.
I'm excited. All right.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ben.
Thanks, Em. All right, for North of 8 Design and Marketing founder Emily Gall, I'm DrydenWire founder Ben Dryden, and you've been watching That's Debatable with Ben and Emily. We'll see you right back here next month for another episode of That's Debatable on Thursday, April 2nd, 2026, where we will be talking all things election related with a nonpartisan primary set for that following Tuesday. So until then, I'm Ben Dryden saying thank you for watching, and as always, have a blessed day.